近年来，苹果电脑以精致、实用且具时尚感的科技产品，在全球3C 市场上引领潮流。想知道苹果电脑永远保持创新的秘诀是什么？天下杂志专访苹果电脑创办人之一 Ceo 观点，让你一窥苹果电脑创新思考的秘密。
First of all is that the customer is more important than the technology. Steve thought this from day one, and part of the reason might be because I was very good at technology, and his role was more understanding the product, how it fits another person's life. We brought computers into the home. Was it because I built color into the computer, or was it because we had a nicely styled case that looked okay to put this thing called a computer, a technical device from factories, into a home? And it was probably a combination of both, but Steve very much appreciated from the earliest days styling, appearance, that something looked better than everything else, and that you hide the technology from the human, from the person. And our products do that to this day very well. One of the ways to make a product easy to use is when it fits the human life metaphors. Calling a screen on a TV a desktop like the desktop we use before computers made a lot of understanding instantly to people. It's just those kind of human metaphors that we already have. And I mentioned the shape of the mouse feeling like a nice smooth stone in a creek. Right. You know, and Steve said that once and it really impressed me so much I keep remembering those words. And there has to be one head in charge of everything. There can still be 20 different engineers working on it, but there still has to be one head driving them. And that's management. When management is weak, the products in a company really suffer. They really suffer. Middle-level management, you'll get software out that has bugs, that has words you can't understand, that is just so flawed in terms of what a humanist would want to be perfect, that it's basically low-level management sometimes has to take the responsibility to not just get this done and that done, all these different check boxes for a product done. They have to make sure that everything works right and well, and they have to take their head has to become two heads at once. The head of the manager, who knows what the project should do, and the head of a user, and they have to see it in a whole different environment as though they don't know anything. If I didn't know anything and I saw this on my screen, would it make sense to me? Say it's a web page or something. Or if I was using it to get some process done at work, would these categories really make sense to me, or would I want it differently? And that's what almost no manager can do, is to have two heads in the same body, to throw out one concept briefly and become a different person and then come back to the manager side. The drive is partly knowing that you're good at a certain thing and having been praised at it in your life. And that motivates you. I am an engineer. My product is part of me. Some engineers, especially the inventor types, that invent new things, that work on their own, they actually are artists, and everything that they create has to be done so perfectly because people are going to look at it and judge it as them. That device is the person, and it has to be so well made that they will think highly of something that is a part of you, a part of your soul. Your motivation is sometimes it's more important, less important that you have agreed to do something, more important that you want to do something. So if it's your own idea, if it's your company's idea, your boss's idea, it's not as motivating as if it's your own idea. What a big company could do is spot that some of the engineers are good for getting the work done, and a few of your engineers, very rare ones, are the artists. They're the ones that are going to go off and do entirely new, products with new markets on their own that are going to be the future. Recognize those people and put them in some special categories. Steve Jobs and I started a company in our young 20s with no business schooling, no business experience, no money. No money, not zero. I had to sell my most valuable object, my Hewlett-Packard calculator, to get the money to start the company. And that was just a few $100s. So that was where we were, and we just said, we believed in ourselves, and we're going to do this and see where it takes us. And we had ideas that if we achieve one thing, we'll be able to move up to the higher level. We'll find whatever it takes to get up to a real big company someday.